Here are the KELME Nebula soccer cleats, which are some of the most affordable FG/AG cleats on the market right now, retailing for just $44 at time of recording. In this video, I'll go over the updated fit, as well as some of the pros and cons to help you decide if these are worth picking up. I'll also put a link in the description below, as well as an exclusive discount code if you're interested in picking up a pair. The Nebula has a stitched synthetic upper that is actually relatively soft out of the box. Let me see if I can get a good close-up here. These are a little more on the padded side, so if you're looking for a super thin, barefoot type feel on the ball, these probably aren't it. But if you like a thicker upper, these fit the bill and they are very comfortable. The tongue is very thin and feels like a suede-like material, and again, very soft and comfortable. Now looking at the heel, they have a small external heel counter that wraps around. And then the inside is fairly thick and padded again. The lockdown is surprisingly good, and I like how far back the lace holes go. Moving on to the sole plate, this is where we get a little more interesting. These have a TPU outsole with a mix of triangular and circular studs throughout the forefoot and rear foot. The studs are a good length for both FG and AG, although I would say they lean a little bit more to AG, which is great in my opinion. I had no problems wearing these right out of the box on AG, and the traction felt just about perfect. Now let's check out the weight. Despite these being a little bit more on the thicker side, they don't feel terribly heavy. I would guess maybe around 9 ounces for this size 8.5. All right, so they weigh 250 grams or 8.84 ounces. Okay, so even a little bit lighter than I was expecting. I typically stick with cleats in between the 6.5 to 8.5 ounce range. These are just a little bit above that, but honestly, they don't feel that heavy. If you're not a fan of the super lightweight stuff or you go into a lot of challenges, I think these are definitely a good option. Okay, so like I said, on feet, they really don't feel that heavy. KELME has updated the length and fit for this model, so I went with my typical US size 8.5, and the length is just about right. Previous models do seem to fit a little bit longer. These have a fairly wide forefoot and midfoot and taper just a little bit towards the heels and toes. If you have a medium or wide foot, you should be good going true to size, but if you have a narrow foot, I would probably try a half size down. These feel pretty comfortable on feet right away, and you probably don't need much break-in time. I was pleasantly surprised when I tried these on for the first time. While the synthetic leather is not going to fool anyone for natural leather, it is quite soft and comfy, and I like the texture in the forefoot. The sole plate is perfect for AG surfaces and works fairly well for shorter and firmer natural grass fields as well. I would not recommend wearing them on soft ground, however. The Nebula is very accommodating for wider foot shapes, but is a bit too wide for me personally. Overall, I think these are a very solid pair of cleats for under $50, especially considering they can be used on FG as well as AG. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about them, and I'll do my best to answer those.